TV begins now.
Are you ready?
Ladies and gentlemen, strap yourselves in for the wildest thrill ride of your life. So grab a snack and sit back because we're about to throw it down.
We've got the best three-wide action door-to-door racing on the turn number 4 you'll find on iRacing, right here live on the Full Velocity Racing Network.
We are about to crown tonight's champion, and it's time to let her dig.
We're restacked and repacked up for turn number 4. Who's it gonna be?
And good evening, race fans. Welcome in live to the Full Velocity Racing Network. And we come to you live tonight from inside the Martinsville Speedway, Martinsville, Virginia. Great to come out here for a Monday night, the Adrenaline Rush Racing League Truck Series. And it comes to you live via Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch TV. Good evening, everybody. Phil Lacasse is here. Jack Truan's here on the controls. Maybe Raging Ron Piles may join me here in a bit just to shoot the breeze as he's going out racing. And we have a long one on tap here tonight. 287 laps around the Paperclip Martinsville Speedway. There's 8 trucks in the house, so it's going to be a long night of racing, but it should be a short one. It should be very clean. This league is shown clean all season long, so we'll settle on in, get ready to rock and roll. But before we go racing here tonight, let's throw it down trackside to Dirty Grass Soul with the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, Dirty Grass Soul, as they always do here at the network, a playing of our national anthem to get it started here tonight live with the Full Velocity Racing Network. And it is great to have these all in tonight here at Martinsville. So it should be a good night of racing. This league has shown us well all season long, and expecting no different here tonight for Mr. Sheffield and the crew. So Qualifying is complete, getting ready to grid, and I want to say hello to all of you out there watching tonight. The Facebook Live chat, the YouTube chat, the Twitch TV. If you're over there, I'm going to see if I can't pull up my Facebook feed, which, whatever reason or not, just completely just dumped out on my end. There we go. Got that all fixed up. So I want to make sure I can interact with our crew, our audience, and say hello and have a good night doing so. So we're going to be here a little while. 287 laps, so it's certainly going to be a long, long night. We get ready to rock and roll. As Anthony Altzer's out there saying his hometown track. We have Joey and Becky Kennedy, Team Ty B, going to have to get involved with this short track action. I agree. I'd love to see more people come out here and join this league at Mr. Sheffield, as it is a great league. Currently known as the Adrenaline Rush Racing League. I believe they have merged with our friends from RSR, and now going to be known as the Evolution Racing League. They're going to be their new name there when they kind of combine forces. So, seeing good things in this league to come. I know they're always looking to grow and add more folks. So, yeah, Ty B TV. It would be great to see Ty B come and do this on pavement. He was a dirt guy, but got to diversify every now and again, don't we? As we'll do so here tonight, a long night of racing. Tonight's quick time in qualifying, a 20.543, will give the number 16 of Matt Ulprich the provisional pole, with the number 4 truck, GT Arizarea, next to him. In row number 2, the number 23 is Chad Biesinger, with the number 2 of Craig Burns to his outside. In row number 3, the number 11 truck is Robert Nestor, with the number 6 of Richard Gonzalez. Last week's winner in a dramatic finish, the number 1 of Michael Sheffield, will start 7th, and the number 15 of David Edwards will start 8th in the final position here tonight. 8 trucks, 287 laps around this 0.53 mile Martinsville Speedway out of turn number 4 for the first time tonight. IracingIflag.com, green flag in the air. Bring Jack into that later if we need to, but maybe the only green we see all night is we have seen 4 caution-free races this season from this league. They put some really good racing on. I wish more folks would come out and be a part of it, because it is a good time. We'll do it here tonight in Martinsville. Let's chase Matt Ulprich with the number 16 on of turn number 4. He will complete lap number 1. GT Arizarea going to fall into that second spot. Craig Burns in the deuce. He'll fall behind them. It's Martinsville. It's going to be a very hard track to pass on. You really got to let your stuff ride. They got 3 additional sets of tires here for this one here tonight, I do believe. So you're going to have to take care of your stuff. Braking is always an issue here at Martinsville. You got to take care of that equipment. You got to keep the brakes underneath you. You got to keep the trucks, the fenders on them if you want to get to the end. I've had a miserable race here at Martinsville. Gonna race for the lead, Bruin. GT Arizarea down in 3 and 4. He is underneath Matt Ulprich, and a guy who has led the majority of the laps here this season. The Busch Light number 4, F-154 GT Arizarea will now go to the top of the heat, but still very early on. 3 laps of 287 complete. Adam Lighty, 100 stars. What's going on, Adam? We're sad you're not here. Don't know some of the gang is missing. He's not here. Kevin Jodrosich, the number 9, not here. I mean, there's some guys missing that are normally here on a Monday night. So, Adam, thanks for the stars, bro. You hope you're doing well, and hopefully see you back here on the Speedway very soon with this series. It's been a fun group to cover, I'm not going to lie. Race is a little tad bit long. This one tonight, extremely long. Going to wear me out for sure. We're going to see what we can do here over the course of 287 laps, a daunting challenge. We've done so a couple of times this season, and I'm not sure if that's affecting the car count some. It certainly could be. I know a guy like me, I see the car count, or see the lap count, I would get intimidated too. Well, I'm not going to lie, I'm intimidated as an announcer to do a race that's this long. I mean, been years and years. I did this consistently for this amount of time. So we'll see what we can't settle in, cover some good racing action. GT Arizarea leads over Matt Ulprich. Craig Burns in the number 2. He slots into that 3rd spot. Chad Biesinger back here in the 4th position. Robert Nestor into the top 5. Well, he started 5th. He started there. He's going to currently run 5th. The 1 truck of Michael Sheffield, the guy who won a thrilling race last week on fuel mileage. He missed it last week. Got to go back and visit. Last lap of the race.
Phil.
What's up, Jack?
The track is 113 degrees.
Track is 113. Are you kidding me? That's screeching hot. Tires are gonna melt. They only got 3 sets. You're gonna have hot tires on brake rotors grinding to slow these things down. Oof. It's gonna be some warm trucks, some warm drivers, and I hope they have plenty to drink. And I bet you got the track temp courtesy of the South Texas Speedway track facts. Because I don't have that info in front of me, but you do. 113-degree track temp. Good God. I mean, it's, what do we got here for? Oh, you're right, there it is. 66 degrees, 113-degree track temp. That's double the, oh my word. 2 mile per wind, very light. Wow. Humidity level is going to be up, so you guys are going to be warm. They're going to be slip sliding around, and my goodness.
Do they have air conditioning in them trucks?
I don't know. I mean, if it's this hot and it's off the asphalt and the concrete and it's 113 degrees and
They have a better fire suit than Todd.
that's true. I don't know if you've seen Todd's fire suit yet, but my goodness. It was good to see him race, though. Good to hear the stories. And it sounds like he did pretty decent. Was running up as he started last in his heat, or his feature, I should say. Got up as high as 4th, but before making a mistake, and I think he finished up 6th. So, you know, Todd taking, I guess, can't really say a sabbatical. He's been on sabbatical for about 6 months, it feels like. But he's, you know, want to go kart, doing some hobbies. And I plan on doing something, you know, kind of off the cuff, too, is I'm going to slow down quite a bit. You know, take a break once all these slates of races we have coming up, once we kind of get some of these seasons to bed. Yeah, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go find some kind of different hobby to do, just kind of get my head away from this, recharge a little bit. I think we can all use that once in a while. You know, Todd's going to jump back in feet first for a little while. I'm sure Jack will be here. As you know, Jack enjoys what he does. I mean, he went as far to put a license plate on the truck. This is FDR. That's how much Jack loves doing this. So Jack's not going nowhere. I ain't going to go too far away, but you know, we're definitely looking forward to a little time off. Much needed. Got to recharge. We're hitting it hard. Who's going to the Caribbean? You?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the, you can find a hobby. I'm like going out of the country or something.
Yeah, you long vac. Yeah, I'm all for that. Good vacation. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. It's not gonna have much to do with racing. You know, maybe Saturday nights. You know, for the last 2 months of TDR that we'll do. Maybe, but I think as far as some of the broadcasting goes, I think I may scale it down to 1-2 days a week. Maybe just disappear altogether for a little bit. Not gonna lie, a little bit burned out. We've been really pushing it hard for the last few months since you know, that 2 week, you know, shut the government down, flatten the curve thing, where everybody kind of shut down. That 2 and call it 6 weeks, which that last I checked tomorrow, September 1st. I mean, that's 6 months ago now. So we've been killing it. We've been working hard. I don't know if we're going to eclipse the 350 of shows we put out in 2019, but I think we're going to get dangerously close to that 300 mark. I really do. We really produced a lot this season. So we're happy you all tuned in and been a good audience and a good group, and we enjoy doing what we do. Not gonna lie, we really do. If it wasn't for that, we wouldn't do what we do. But thanks to all of you via the support out there, interacting in our chats every night, or you know, the donations. Some stars go a long way. The supporter badge, if you can click on that, become a supporter for $4.99 a month. That really does mean a lot to us. That means you guys really support what we do, and that breathes life into us, keeps us excited. Because not gonna lie, I mean, sim racing, you know, after a while, I've called probably 2,000 races, if not more, at this point in my career. I mean, they kind of all run together. I mean, there's only so many different ways I'm going to describe this action to you to keep it, you know, just cutting edge and, you know, on top of professional. Well, I think I could hold my own with anybody out there. I think we all can. But kind of is what it is.
I don't remember.
You get burned out.
I don't remember who won the last race we did.
The last race of this league last week?
No, this is the last race period.
It's the last race of the period. That would, you know, see, that would go back for us Thursday. You know, as we're watching the laps count in Martinsville, and they're going to run all night long. 20 laps of 287 in here. So we got a while, so we'll talk back and forth. We'll call the racing action as it kind of breaks out. It's pretty good right now, nose to tail, but Thursday night, we're in Elite Dirt Racing League, the Big Al's Gun Series, and the winner was it was Arent Kirby. Picked up his first, I believe it was Arent Kirby. No, he was in the podium. Who won the race? It wasn't Arent winning.
See, it's not just me.
I'm trying to. It is. That's what I mean. You're right. We've seen so many races, we forget the last one we did. And I'm like the you know, the character Drew Barrymore played in the movie 50 First Dates. I wake up the next morning and the entire palette is cleansed. Nothing I've done the night before, especially when it comes to sim racing. It's all gone. I mean, it takes a whole day to refresh your memory of what we did. And I still don't remember who we won. I'm gonna spend the better part of 100 laps here trying to figure out who the heck won Thursday night. Thanks, Jack. That really makes me feel senile. Enough of that going on. Got a race for the lead going on, though. GT Irizarry leads Matt Oprick down the back chute, headed toward turn number 3. Going to put 24 laps complete this time. Ford truck goes up the hill. 16 looks to be turning better, and they are wrecking. And it's very rare this league wrecks at all, but it is Martinsville. It's going to be a tough track for certain. Yellow, yellow, yellow on the speedway. Team Hart Motorsports yellow flag number 1. Will find us as we put number 25 laps on the board. And said Robert Nestor in the 11 looks like he just got to the back of the 15 of David Edwards, and that looks like the old-fashioned Martinsville wreck. It really, really does. It's not hard to do to lock him up and to misjudge somebody. And unfortunately, the left rear of the 15, David gets kind of turned around, not terribly. No damage to the truck, but enough to throw the yellow out for the first time tonight. We're 25 laps in here at Martinsville on the Full Velocity Racing Network. All right, let's put the lights out here, Martinsville. What do you say? 27 laps of 287 complete. GT Irizarry leads the way over Chad Biesinger, Michael Sheffield, Matt Oprick, and Craig Burns going to be the top 5, as I believe all those trucks from like 4th on back all came down the pit lane, which may be relatively very early to pit, as they're allowed 3 additional tire sets tonight. Still 250 laps to go, so there's a lot of racing left, and you almost wonder, you got to manage your equipment, your sets of tires all night long, and it's hot. So let's get back to it. GT going to lead the way down the back chute over Biesinger, and Biesinger now under fire from the one of Michael Sheffield as he puts that fireball machine down to the inside. The fireball thing always makes me thirsty. Ain't gonna lie, did have a swing before we got on here this evening. Full disclosure, fireball was good. We like that. Root for that truck. I like GT Irizarry, a guy I've known for a long time. He's a great dude. Not the Busch Light fan, though. I'm not a beer drinker. But anytime I see the Busch Light schemes, I always think speed. And it goes back to even, times in NR 2003 where we raced with guys like GT and his old buddy Scott Schroyer, who we miss in the dirt. Guys like I see guys like Gary Piccolo and Craig Meyer, they run that scheme currently. So I see all those guys still run that scheme, and they were all buddies back at Blazing Pedals years ago. I think really quick. So no doubt. 4 good, but Michael Sheffield is under him looking for the lead out of turn number 2. As he'll try down the back chute to regroup. You don't want to push it too early, Michael. You got to save it. A guy like him knows it after winning that terrific race last week on gas mileage. Snooker GT on the last lap. GT ran out of gas, and Michael had just enough to get back on the start-finish line before he ran out. And now the 4 versus 1. Two guys have been having some good battling here this season. Race for the race lead here early on in Martinsville on lap number 33. One truck going to drive it in a little bit gingerly on the bottom. GT kind of walks on the outside lane, and not a place you want to be too wide for long. So wear out your tires, and it's hot. The track is warm. You light these brake rotors up, you melt that tire, and you only get 3 sets. Long night. Michael Sheffield now going to put himself to the top of the heat, as the one truck will take the lead from Irizarry down to turn number 2 off the exit there as they work off a 4 now, putting 34 laps complete. Now Irizarry going to try to fight off the challenge of the 23 of Chad Biesinger. And Chad's another guy, very quietly had a very, very good season. Multiple top 5 finishes, a couple of times in the top 3 in the post race. Tonight, Chad Biesinger maybe makes it to victory lane. And if memory serves, he had a race win a few weeks ago. You know, led going into 3 and 4 in the last lap and got turned out the way. I believe about the 15 of Edwards. Thought we were going to put Biesinger in victory lane. What happened to Mike? Where'd he go? Must have got it hot. Yeah, he did drop all the way back to 5th. Irizarry now back to the lead. Biesinger now Oprick and Richard Gonzalez. There's a guy we've been seeing develop here into a good little driver in this series. A 6 truck, the Exalta ride. A guy who, you know, put quick time on the board a couple of times in time trials early in the season. Just hasn't had that one really good, consistent whole race together to be making a lot of noise. But Mr. Gonzalez tonight, the 6, currently running in the 4th spot. Still early on here in Martinsville, and I know I've raced this joint many a times over the years, and new tires, you feel like a superhero. He zings it up to the outside of Matt Oprick there for 3 and 4. Looks like Richard Gonzalez maybe poised to put himself in the top 3, but he almost wanted driving it too hard too early. Really drove it deep into 1 and 2. That time was way up the hill. Not sure how we kept that thing out the wall. There had to be no grip up there whatsoever, but Gonzalez making that line working. He continues to run it up high in 3 and 4 again. So he is rim riding. He is getting it done. We'll see what Richard Gonzalez can do over the course of this evening. GT Irizarry back to the race lead, but Chad Biesinger has got him down about 2 truck lengths now and chasing him down the back chute into turn number 3. Good to see Miss Marianne Sheffield out there rooting on for Michael. We got the stuff hot or whatever happened. Mike has dropped all the way back to 6 now in the number 1. So tough sledding here after charging right to the race lead for Mike. So see if he can't regroup. Adam Lighting, my rig's doing some crazy stuff. Got to love trips. Now, is that trips like taking a trip, like vacation, like Jack's gonna do, or is that like trip like you lost power and, you know, a PC kind of fried itself in a halfway capacity? Could be either or. So Adam, you're out there listening, buddy. Chime in. Oh, that's real trick. Wow. I can't say I've ever done, so I wouldn't know what that trip was kind of like, but it's got to be righteous. Joey and Becky Kennedy, Ty BTV, branched out, started a new team doing dirt and asphalt. Exciting things coming. I'll have to catch up with Tyler and see what he's up to. Yes, that's what I'm still in the 6 truck. He is. He's running to the outside, looking for a bid for 2nd around Biesinger down at turn 3 and 4. He is making the outside lane work. I mean, kind of impressed the way that thing is riding through the middle of the corner. The Exalta machine really stepping on it. Racing Chad Biesinger for the 2nd spot, but looks like Oprick in the number 16 starting to pull his way into the fight, and he goes to the low side. Yep, Richard got in there hot through 1 and 2. Put Oprick now back up to 3rd, and here comes David Edwards in the 15, the Jack Daniels machine. He'll pull down to the inside, racing on for position number 4 down the front chute. 44 laps of 287 complete. We'll see if Gonzalez can't get that thing regrouped, or he could have cooked the right front tire in the outside lane. We'll wait and see. We'll see if Sheffield can't make a bid to the inside down a 3. He certainly will. 6 trucks stuck up the hill. 1 truck going to make it run down in the inside. He'll pick up the gas, and yeah, Gonzalez, after he made that run up toward the front, now he begins to to free fall on back, and he'll fall back till the clutches behind Sheffield. So Gonzalez now back through sixth, and he only has Robert Nestor and Craig Burns behind him in the two. And Craig was running third for a little while, did come down on pit road during that move, that yellow flag we just had. It's weird to see the two truck towing on to the end, running in eighth.
Hey Phil, it's 115 degrees now.
115 degrees. Wow. Jack, I hope you got your hat on. You got the air conditioned trailer. I've got this little blowy fan up here in the broadcast booth. I mean, it's a little warm. Not gonna lie. I think we're hydrated though. We get the Mountain Dew Zero flowing. I even grabbed an old school can of Pepsi. I don't know why. I've been on a Pepsi thing the last couple of days. Not good when I'm on the diet, but it's here. Got my bottle of sweet tea if I need this a little bit later on. It's gonna be a long night. I mean, we're only approaching lap 50. I mean, long way to go still. 287 laps. The main event here tonight for the Adrenaline Rush Racing League, here live on the Full Velocity Racing Network via Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch TV. We hope everybody is doing well wherever you're watching from. Good to have you. Glad you chose to spend your night with Phil and Jack, the Phil and Jack Attack. We are every Monday night, which I didn't hear from McConey today either. Should have checked on Jeff. Figured I'd hear from him. Usually do on a Monday. No, he just moved back into school and just celebrating the birthdays these last couple of days. So happy birthday to our buddy Jeff McConey. Have to get a hold of him and see what he's up to. Might be time for a joke of the week here soon. So Jeff's out there mercifully listening to me wobble here tonight. Maybe he comes in and says hi. I know Rage and Ron may pop in here a little bit. He's out there doing some racing as well over iRacing. Wherever Todd may be, if Todd wants to say hello. I mean, even Hot Rod's not here. I mean,
No Jeff Brown, no Hot
no
Rod,
Jeff Brown, no Hot
nobody.
Rod, no Sam Perry. I mean, we're just they're all kind of lonely hanging out, and a lot of laps, not a whole lot of trucks to talk about. So, hey, you can't sing that song, Jack. That's and I'll tell the story, because that's what we're going to do here tonight. We're going to tell a lot of stories. But we'll tell the story in a second. Race for the lead happening down the back chute. Biesiger to the inside of Irizarry down in 3 and 4. Let's see if Chad drives that thing in a little deeper. Looks like he'll let it walk in there, and GT waddles it up the hill. Let's see if Biesiger, he has scored the race leader at the line. New race leader, 23 of Chad Biesiger. GT Irizarry going to fight back on the outside lane, but GT, it's too early to race that hard, buddy. We saw you throw a race away last week from just being too hard at pushing it. But he's going to stay there. And they're going to be in a dead heap, and Irizarry going to be scored the leader that last lap by. So 54 laps in, and they are getting after it. You would think it's a white flag here pretty soon. But it's not. It's not even close. It's a long time away. Ford truck going to drive it down into 3. He drives into really hard, stomps on the brakes, lays the gas back in, and he carries the 23 out of the corner. He may have staved off a big fight from Biesiger. He's going to do so. GT Irizarry going to maintain the lead with a power move up high. So, let's
Yeah,
talk
but
about
how much did he burn up doing that?
Oh, God, you'd imagine. The hot racing service, the tire is going to be just screaming warm. Cry uncle. But let's go back to Mr. Lowe, because that one strikes a nerve on me. For all you guys know, Jack, since the beginning of time, has had the TDR Racing League where I've done all my sim racing at for many years, since 2008, long time ago. Got this little series we do on Saturday nights I've been doing for years, Bear Cup series. Great time, good racing. One day we'll put that out on the Point of View stream out here, and the Full Velocity audience can see how awful I am as a driver. But we raced at Daytona this past weekend, and in typical true Phil fashion,
You were in the back.
I started in the back. And if you ever watched a Daytona race before, I can tell you how they all go. There was 1 or 2 big wrecks. It doesn't matter if it's real life or, simulations. 1 or 2 wrecks will take out a quarter to half of the field, which we did. And somebody will race and dump somebody in the last lap, and there'll be a big wreck, and they'll race back for the win. We've seen it a billion times in Daytona. The races are all the same. Don't have to call them anymore. I know how they're going to end. But to my story, there was a wreck on like the second lap of the race, and it's our old buddy. Let's shout to Mr. Brendan Spadafora. He caused the first one. Brendan watches, so I want to give him some love. And there was probably 6 or 7, 8 cars that kind of bunched up off the wreck, and I was in the back. So what do you do when they wreck? You hit your brakes. I got the car to a complete stop in the middle of the smoke, avoided all damage until I hit the accelerator again and realized that there was no front tires left to go get. So when I hit the gas to accelerate, turned the car hard right, bounced it off the fence, and from there, lost the draft of the green come out, and therefore, we sang my normal Daytona song, which is Mr. Lonely. And I was. And we kind of tailed around all night long, and
You should be used to that by now.
I'm so used to it. It's nauseating. Well, we got another wreck halfway. I came down and I repaired some of my damage. You know, I don't get quick repairs in our 2003. We actually still have to earn our racing. You do. We screw up realistic damage, your night's done. Well, came in, fixed the car as best as we could, restarted, got a good restart, and I stayed in the draft for a little bit, which was good. And actually run my way up into about 9th or 10th. So I was actually, making things happen, which was kind of good. It was like, wow, maybe the Blade Note car will get a good finish. Well, we had to make it around the green flag pit stops. And I was coming in to make mine, and we got off the gas and hit the brakes to come on in.
And ran out of talent.
Yeah, that's basically what I did. I got it it was too fast getting in. Had to hit the brake a little harder than I wanted to, locked up the left front tire, and just completely stuck in the inside wall. And was turned the wrong way on pit road. Just made what was going to be a rough night. It was turning into a decent one, back into a rough one. Phil's stories of racing at Daytona and racing in general. I'm not good. I'm not good at that. I'm no longer good at this. And said, Mr. Lonely. Me on super speedways. Mr. Lonely is me and Jack here tonight. Maybe better things to come this weekend. Go next week. Is it? No, it's a throwback. Darlington. I think we got Darlington coming up here in 2 weeks. Then we go to Kentucky here next week with the series. So maybe next week. We're going to talk to Mike. Next week is a holiday. I'm not sure we're all going to be available to do a show next week. So we'll check on that. We'll get ways, but we'll be here. We'll cover the rest of the season on Monday nights, whether it's next week or missing through the holiday, but we'll definitely be here the followings, and we'll see if Mike adjusts the schedule. Whatever he does. But we're still very, very, very relatively early on here. 67 laps of 287 complete. No change up front. GP Irizarry leads over Chad Biesinger. Quarter of a second, 0.254. And then a truck length or two back to Mike Sheffield, who has regrouped nicely now back into third. It looks like he's got the Fireball left the RN truck. Sheffield graphics machine right back under him. Mike running well. Richard Gonzalez, he is regrouped also. The 6 truck now running in 4th. David Edwards in the number 15. He's moving to the top 5. Robert Nestor. Robert running back in there in 6th. Matt Oprich has dropped back to 7th. Matt was our pole sitter here tonight. So running back there in 7th. Maybe conserving his stuff. That's what I've kind of got to know of Matt. He's a guy who will kind of let it, just ride and ease his way into a run. So we'll see what happens. And then you got to go all the way back here to about 8 seconds off the race leader's pace, where you find the number 2 of Craig Burns. If there is somebody who is Mr. Lonely here in Martinsville, it may belong to that Menards Dickey's number 2, Craig Burns, because he is tail end Charlie running in 8th and almost a half a track away from going a lap down.
He's
to the
so
race leader.
lonely.
He is very lonely. I hope we don't get copyrighted for singing it, but we may break into a full song and dance or anything we can do to keep the viewers in and keep the viewers happy. Facebook Live, you're out there watching, at least chime in, say hello, let me know you're breathing, you're enjoying the show, as we're going to go Sheffield Graphics on board. Who are we going to go on board with? Sheffield. Okay. Sheffield Graphics on board with Sheffield. We can do that. Check out the front end and see the tailgate of the number 23 up ahead as they go down with turn number 3 and Chad runs the bottom, keeps it nicely tucked down there. Mike rides behind. A good lap or two here at Martinsville on the Sheffield Graphics onboard cam with that number 1 truck of Michael Sheffield. My favorite truck in the field. Probably the best tasting truck in the field. Fireball.
Okay.
Do you agree?
You want my experience? My experience at Martinsville tonight would have been at 115 degrees. I would have been good for 2 laps. And then I'd have been in the fence. Or I'd have been seeing how many times I can hit the wall head on before it blows up.
You know what a night like this would do for me and you? 2 laps for sure. We'd be over. I know this. But you see the pit entry in 3 and 4? It's got those water barrels that stick out on there. You and I will be aiming for those. Because the night of racing for Phil and Jack isn't done till one of us is stuck in the water barrels. And it's usually me. And it's usually courtesy of some old 89.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be the experience here at Martinsville. But these guys doing a heck of a lot better than we would do. They're 75 laps in of 287. We're GT Irizarry. He's the leader here tonight in Martinsville.
At McConey Setup Shop, we offer custom-built setups for any asphalt oval car. Prices starting at just $5. Weekly setups available for all Legends, late models, modifieds, and NASCAR trucks, Xfinity, and Cup cars. Do you need one-on-one driver coaching? We've got you covered. Visit www.McConeySetupShop.com and find yourself in Victory Lane. McConey Setup Shop, handling all your setup needs so you don't have to.
All right, we're back here on the Full Velocity Racing Network here in Martinsville. We have 83 laps complete for the Adrenaline Rush Racing League Truck Series via Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch TV here this evening. Bill Lacasse and Jack Truman here is taking us through the night of a 287-lap main event. We have 203 laps here still remaining. But we have a guy on pit road under green flag conditions. The number 1 of Michael Sheffield coming onto the pit lane. So maybe cooked up a set of tires in time for the 1 truck. I think it's the first time he's pitting here tonight. He'll come down to the pit lane. He will take 4 fresh tires. He'll get the goodie back on there. I believe I've seen David Edwards down on pit road too. Yes, I did. 15 came on in. Looks like Craig Burns, number 2, has already come on down as well. So 3 trucks have found the pit lane out of the 8, and the race leader continuing to be GT Irizarry in the number 4. He has also yet to come to pit road. So now I kind of wonder, I mean, there's 200 laps left, so 3 sets of tires. You got to run for a little while, but when is too long, too long? Well, I guess as long as it's still handling and he's leading the race, I mean, why not? How long can fuel go here? I got to imagine fuel at Martinsville will probably go 130, 140 laps, I'm going to assume.
I'm trying to go 100 laps on set of tires.
100 laps on that's what I would need to do. 100 laps on tires, which, I mean, it's not easy to do. Martinsville, and especially in conditions like we have where the air temp is cool, but the track temp is ferociously warm, 115 degrees. I mean, it's down 112, so we're starting to cool off. Get the parkas out. You know, we may see snowflakes by the time this one's over. We may see the dawn of spring before this one's over. I think I just made Jack fall out the chair. That's what we got to do. That's what we'll do. But the good news is we're under 200 laps remaining. It's going to be a long one here tonight in Martinsville. I know the thinking here is 150 miles. I think this is the reasoning NASCAR doesn't do it this way. Got to think of endurance for the drivers, equipment, length of racing, the time you spend behind the wheel. I mean, we're just about 40 minutes into the race, and we're just shy of, 1/3 the way home. So it's a lot of laps. Guys are going to be exhausted after about 2 hours, and hopefully you can hold it all together and focus. But we have a new race leader. Chad Biesinger's to the lead because GT Irizarry, the final of that 3 group that did not pit in the first round, well, the 4 truck has come down on pit road, so he's going to surrender the race lead and shy of the century mark. I guess 90. And I guess if you want to split it up, Jack, we're thinking 100, 100, 100. We'll take 287. You take that 13 laps off, so probably about 4, give or take a few. So now maybe about right. Pretty close. I would go closer to 94, 95 if I could. But maybe it's just enough. The GT comes in, gets his service done, and he returns to racing. But I got to imagine he's going to lose at least a lap, if not 2. The leaders, did Biesinger come down pit road? The 23, yes, he did. Chad Biesinger pits out of the race lead. Also in is Robert Nestor, the Dolomite number 11. He was in the top 3 or 4. That's going to put the race lead into the number 6's hands. Richard Gonzalez, as he'll exit turn number 4. He will complete his 93rd lap in the Exalta Chevrolet. Number 6, Richard Gonzalez. He will lead us at Chevrolet Toyota. He will lead the way here in Martinsville now, and he's got a lead of 3.6 seconds over Matt Oprich. Matt has yet to come to the pit lane. So those are the only 2 on the lead lap. Mike Sheffield currently running in 3rd. And Mike was the first one of that group to come in, so maybe he's learned something that, we all don't. Get the fresher tires early and be able to make up some ground. Let's compare lap times. Last time by, Sheffield did a 21.380. Race leader 23.528. That's 2 seconds. That's large. That's humongous. So I guess those new tires are going to play a big dividend here tonight in Martinsville. Let's see what Mr. Sheffield can do as he unlaps himself, so puts himself the 3rd truck onto the lead lap, and I got to imagine GT is not going to be too terribly far behind as he exits turn 2. GT Irizarry now running in 4th. Chad Biesinger running in that P5 position at number 23. David Edwards running in 6th, and Robert Nestor and Craig Burns. Craig's still back there running in 8th. GT going to be on the lead lap in 2 or 3 laps, Jack says. Well, turn 2. Okay, there it is. Yep, he did. He did pass. So GT Irizarry back to the lead lap. I am watching the 16 of Matt Oprich, who is way off the pace of these guys in tires. He's in 3, and he just hit the brakes and pulled on over. So, no, he's on some kind of conservation run, the number 16. No shock at all. Richard Gonzalez, he has been running the outside, kind of running in both sides of the track. And
Matt pitted on the first caution, so.
Yeah, the only yellow. I know Matt was in. I know Richard was in. So these guys could maybe go a little bit longer. But the other crew was in. And maybe they didn't take tires when they came in. You just kind of never know. But either way, we're approaching 100 laps. 99 got to be complete this time. Richard Gonzalez going to lead the way in his Toyota off of turn number 4. 99 laps go on the board. Matt Oprick in the number 16. He'll exit turn 4. He'll stay second. Oh, he's on the pit lane. Matt Oprick finds himself the pit road at the century mark. So he'll pit out of second. And that should pretty much turn P2 over to Sheffield. And he's got 3 seconds on GT Irizarry as they currently run third and fourth. That will cycle on through as they will overtake Oprick this lap around. I believe Biesinger also back to the lead lap with 23. So you can see the 6 truck on those older tires is just losing time. You can rail 23.677 last time by. Michael Sheffield 21.511. That's still 2 seconds, 2.1 to be exact. So Gonzalez is really losing time out there on these older tires. Did run a 23 flat last time by, so not too bad. He's got 12 seconds on Mike, about 15 back to GT, 20 on Biesinger, who runs their third and their fourth now. David Edwards, he'll be the first one to lap down as he's right behind the race leaders off of turn number 3 and 4. So can David Edwards unlap himself as I hear communication from the 6 as Richard gets into the outside wall at the very end of the front stretch. So let's see if the 6 maybe thinks about coming to pit lane, as that thing looks to be getting a little bit of squirrely handling as he'll run it down to 3 and 4. No, it's not going to be this time by, but the leader certainly losing time is 2+ seconds a lap he is losing. Now you're going to think risk versus reward. You've got that track position. You've got 9 seconds to lead, but how much can you afford to give up in this short term? 104 laps to go complete for the 6 is that lead chopped down to 7 seconds now. So 6.5 even. So it's closing even further. Now you do about, call it 1.5 to 2 seconds a lap. Mike should probably be there in the next 4 or 5 laps if it stays the way it's being. So let's see where Mike is. Now under 6 seconds, 5.5. Cue the Jaws music, because here comes that fireball, FDRN Sheffield Graphics number 1, Michael Sheffield. Mike, that always makes you go faster and feel better. Not gonna lie. That's why I could swig it every now and again. It really gives you, it's like an energy drink for me. Makes you feel good.
4
Makes
seconds.
you go fast.
Under 4
Down to
seconds.
4 seconds. So what do you think? 3 laps? 4 laps? He's gonna catch him. Well, it's down to 3.2. 2.7. Have you gone on board for this look yet? Because I bet that would be a cool shot. Let's go on board. The 1 truck and look out ahead. You see it's starting to reel in the 6 of Gonzalez as they work their way down to 1 and 2. Last time at the line, 2.222. 2.222. 1.91 down the back chute. Blows it in. Look up ahead. I'm staying in the spotter stand view because I can see the whole racetrack, but it's closing. At the line, interval shrinks down again to 1.4. So he's now knocking off about 0.5 second a lap. So it's slowed down a little bit. It's gonna get there. There he is. In turn 3 and 4, it's down to 2, 3, 4 truck lengths and closing. Gonzalez is going to lead this lap, but here comes Michael Sheffield on the outside lane. He will lead lap number 109. So put the 1. And where did GT come from? GT was 3 seconds behind him. What is it? All right. If Mike's got Fireball, GT has nitrous fuel. He's got moonshine. Talk about putting me on the floor. Moonshine. I may have to drink the Busch Light and be conservative about it. Not a conservative run for GT down at 3, though. He gave a little tap to the 1. down the back chute. So we approach here where, I guess you'd say the middle stages, 111 laps of 287 in here. We see a lot of laps left remaining. What was the halfway point here tonight? About 142, so about 30 laps shy of halfway. We get a race for the lead developing. Michael Sheffield versus GT Irizarry. Did Gonzalez come down to pit yet? He lost a lot of time. No, he still runs in third. He's fallen. About 3.5 seconds back. Chad Biesinger running fourth. Robert Nestor and David Edwards on the 6 trucks on the lead lap.
Well, he's only got, what, 2 sets of tires left, so he's going to have to go.
Yeah, tire conservation it's a real thing. It's a real challenge for the series. It really is. You got to run a long race like this, and you got to manage it. You got to get all the way home. We know these guys up front know how to get it done.
Matt, if I know what I'm saying, he's used 2 sets of his tires, so he's only got 1 left.
I think you're right. Matt Oprich may have 1 set of tires left. And Matt, I believe, is 1 lap down. He is. He's a lap down in 7th. Got to be a little tough for the 16 truck. I ain't going to lie. Sheffield and Irizarry, they're your top 2. Let's put 115 laps complete. And what do you say? Let's give another shout out to one of our buddies out there. Let's take a look at our buddy Charlie Milner, who does a bunch of great stuff for us. Milner Media Design. Check out his great look at his paint shop, and we'll check in back here in a few minutes on the Full Velocity Racing Network. All right, little break there. Thanks to Charlie Milner, Milner Media Design. He's one of our great partners here at the network, does a lot of our video work, including our national anthem. He's, full enthralled with our buddy Todd is giving us a little video production enhancement to our stuff here soon. We've got some new entrance videos going to be happening. Maybe a new revamped look for the broadcast, some new different flavor. Need a whole lot of new. I feel like we're kind of stagnant.
Coming 2022.
Coming in 2022. Hopefully Phil can still see enough to come call the race in 2022. I almost feel like I already know Jack can see better than I can, but I think I had an eyeball go out today. Like literally. It's like down to like a little dot. So Just a little glimpse into my world. But the right eye, the headlight is like out. Not fun. I guess what I got to come in life, I guess. But this race for the lead stayed pretty consistent here now as we put 125 laps complete. Michael Sheffield and GT Irizarry continuing to pace the way here in Martinsville. Then you're going to go all the way back here about 8 seconds, or maybe closer to 9. Back to Chad Biesinger in the number 23. Chad rides in the third spot. It's under 8 seconds. He was quicker than the 2 leaders last time by 7.98. Back to Chad, who runs third. Robert Nestor. Solid night for the 11 truck. Robert back there in the double mint number 11. Running in the 4th position. 3 seconds behind him, you will find the Jack Daniels number 15 of David Edwards. David's a good dude, great driver. He runs P5, the number 15 as we exit turn 4. And then you look right up behind the race leaders, you find the driver running in 6th, the number 16, Matt Oprick. 1 lap down, still making laps, and he's got a good piece. I mean, he's running decent lap times. Only detriment he has right now is I think he's down to 1 set of fresh tires left and runs 1 lap behind the leaders. Matt Oprick running in 3rd, and he looks under Sheffield, who is number 2 on the racetrack. So Matt's obviously got a really good piece if he's going to split up the leaders. So we'll see what 16 can do here later on. But he runs 6th a lap down. 2 laps down, you find Richard Gonzalez, who has finally surrendered his way to the pit lane. Richard Gonzalez running in 7th, and then Craig Burns, who'll be documented in the number 2. He was running about 2 laps down. He was off the pace, and now the 2 truck has pulled it into the garage. And it looks like Craig Burns is going to call it a night. And Martinsville is a place that is not too terribly hard to do. You got an off night here, an off truck. You burn it up early, you damage it. Miserable. Martinsville is just straight misery when your stuff's not good. Craig Burns is going to call it a night. So 7 trucks remaining running. 6 of them on the lead lap. And the race leader is Mr. GT Irizarry, who has done it multiple times this season. He has also shown you how to throw races away. So if you want to study a guy who knows a thing or two on how to win them and how to toss them, the Busch Light 4, number 4, GT Irizarry, very good at that. So most I ever see a fourth car win or 4 truck, because I certainly don't do it. I discredited the 4 so much I jumped out of the 4. And I did it in perfect timing for 2020. Ran the 48 for a long time. It was my first number. Went back to it for this year, thinking this is probably my last year as an active driver full-time. So went back to the 48 thinking, if Jimmy doesn't need it no more, which he didn't really need it this season either. I mean, how's that fake 7-time champ doing? Not going to win number 8. Not even going to win legit one number 3. Because I'll call him a 2-time champ. And I'll throw that down. We can debate that all day, as Matt Oprick unlaps himself. But I went back to the 48, and I'm just as good as Jimmy is now, which is not. Go there. Little throwdown from your buddy Phil at the Full Velocity Racing Network. Always creating controversy. They say controversy creates not only cash, but can stimulate conversation.
I think you might be better than Johnson.
It could be. I don't know. I'm not very... I've only got like 2 top 10s this season, which... I've got as many wins as Jimmy has. Let's just put that out there. 0. Goose egg. No. But just like Jimmy, my prime has passed me a long time ago, and it's now a young man's game.
Yeah, you got to have time to just sit there and practice forever.
Forever. And it's something... I think if I got away from doing this full time and maybe getting the itch to want to race a little bit before I'm just done with it, maybe I'd put more time and effort into my efforts and, do something like run more than 3 laps of practice, but I just can't bring myself to it. Racing feels like work. When it feels like work, you don't enjoy it.
How many practice laps did I used to put in back in the day? I practiced at wrecking you.
Yeah, that's what we did. We practiced wrecking. But you know what? You and our old buddy, Mike Schaefer, we know his speed for years and years. You guys taught me something years ago, and it stuck with, especially the sim where I do a lot of my racing. It's borderining on 17, 18 years old. 17 years old. If you can't go out there with an old sim with those physics and figure out how to go fast in 5 laps, You're not going to figure it out, so you might as well just not. You can't duplicate race conditions. So click it to race and go feel it out for 50 laps. If you keep defenders on you, then you figure out how to drive it. And that's what I do. And it's not very good results, and I probably need to put a better effort in, but I just don't feel it. I don't. So, but one day, if I get the itch to want to race more, maybe even iRace, which that would be the day. Filling iRacing is not good. The track temp has now risen to 115, so sunburns are happening. You know what's happening? We're just about halfway home. 140 laps going to go on the board next time by. So what did I say the math was? Say 143. Yeah, so we're about 2.5, 3 laps short of halfway. We're getting there. We're bordering 9 o'clock on the East Coast, so we'll be about 1 hour into the show. We'll be halfway home. So maybe get this one in under 2 hours tonight. We'll see. That'd be good. I like to call it a couple of late nights and sometimes early mornings. And hey, how's everybody doing out there? Y'all got kids? They go back to school? I know my baby went to school today for the first time in 6 months or longer, feels like. Started her senior year at her this morning, which is kind of an exciting thing. Which makes it kind of really irritating for guys like me and Jack. When I first met Jack years ago, my daughter was just starting school, and now my last child is about to graduate high school in a few months.
Oh, I thought you were going to say I had hair.
Oh, you had hair too. You used to have that cool tuxedo T-shirt too. You still got that? Do you still rock that?
Oh yeah.
I'm glad you.
Family reunions, I dress up.
Yes, absolutely. Can you still wear the same wardrobe 12 years later?
Oh yeah.
I'm happy for you. I can't.
I am a carpenter. I work in the sun.
Yeah, that's true.
I sweat constantly.
Somebody told me once upon a time, if you don't stay seriously active, heavy duty into your mid-30s, that you can put on weight in a hurry, and it doesn't come off very easily. That happened. I got hurt in the middle of my 30s and kind of slowed down, and yeah, I ballooned right up.
I've been in construction for 35 years, I think.
That's a long time. That mean I was like 5. 6 or 7. Just to give you some context, how long you've been in it. An old guy. I feel for you. You were young when I met you. Now I feel this is old. Damn. Where has time been?
I'm not old. I'll be 54 this year. That's not old.
No, 54. 50 is like the new 30. So you got to figure it out. And we still act like a couple of juveniles anyways, which just kind of blows my mind that folks want to come out here and still listen to us banter and watch a race. And looking by the audience we have, we dropped about half of it. So maybe they don't. I get it. We're an hour in. We're 147 laps in. We're just past halfway. We still got a lot to go. So let's leave it there for a brief minute. GT Irizarry leads by 1.14 seconds over Michael Sheffield. 3 back to Chad Biesinger, who is starting to run down that top 3 or top 2. So Chad's got a good piece. Robert Nestor's back there 4th, 10 seconds back. The race for 5th between Matt Oprick and David Edwards just changed hands. 16 around the 15. So Matt Oprick now into the top 5. We are past halfway. We're borderlining on 150 laps in here on the Full Velocity Racing Network. Let's take a minute and pause and shout out to our buddy Jeff Brown over at IracingIflag.com. All right, thank you to Jeff Brown over at IracingIflag.com. And if you had an iFlag, you would not only have an upper hand over the competition, but you would also know that the yellow flag came out on the speedway during that commercial break. Second yellow flag of the night now with 151 laps complete. David Edwards, the number 15, all by his selfie. Puts out the yellow flag for the second time here tonight. Going to reset and reprogram the group, and with about 130 laps remaining, if you've got that 2 sets of tires left, why not come down there now and go at it? Not a bad time to do so. So they were under yellow. We're 153 laps in. GT Irizarry leads over Michael Sheffield, and I believe they've all come down to the pit lane to get some fresh shoes. So let them all regroup. We'll let them put the lights out. We'll get resurfaced, and we will come back here live and call the restart on the Full Velocity Racing Network. All right, the first rule of thumb from your director when you count them back in, tell you to go, to not be yawning. And I know, Jack, it's 5 after 9 on the East Coast. You're kind of in the back half of the Eastern time zone. So I understand. You worked all day. Was it hot? No, it wasn't too bad here either. I think we're kind of transitioning toward fall, which is okay. Love the fall up here in the Northeast. Nothing, very beautiful time of year. For certain. Looking forward to getting through it. Let's go back to racing here. GT Irizarry takes the IracingIflag.com green flag away. He leads over Michael Sheffield, Chad Biesinger, Matt Oprick now into the 4th spot. Matt's got a good truck, and he pulled this one off late. So a lot of racing left to go. It is Richard Gonzalez. He has overtaken Robert Nestor currently for 5th. So 6 versus 11. Look at the 6 truck up the outside lane. He's going to race around Matt Oprick down the back chute. Let's race for position number 4. Gonzalez has had that top lane rolling all night long and done a really fine job. That's a line I could never run here and do well. Not in a full fender truck. I did do it in a Whaler Modified once upon a time. It didn't have that success with the Richards having, but was able to get some grip, so that was a good time. I guess it can be done. Never seen it done in a Trek. Yes, around the outside, that thing is digging. Yeah, he might be. But, it's working. Sometimes you're going to pass them where they ain't. Ain't nobody up there. Not a chance. Well, he goes to the outside of Chad. He's down in 3 and 4, and I can't believe the drive he's getting off the corner, getting on the throttle. It's just sticking, it's biting. And you would think with the marbles running up there that it would be a detriment, but it really hasn't been. He may complete the pass this time out of 2. Does he clear him? Maybe, not quite. Looks like he's got to run on Mike. On a wall, and that's the risk you pay up there. And I think he's even crumpled up the right front fender. That may really hurt the way that truck turns now. Well, I guess I'll wait and see. But that Toyota's digging. It may have KBM power in there, because Kyle Busch power. In a truck, you're gonna go fast. So let's see. Biesinger's up there running in 3rd now, but I thought we had a race for the lead brewing. He is. Sheffield is under GT out of 2. Can Michael Sheffield take the lead here late in Martinsville? Can't say quite late yet. Still 100 laps to go. 120. But I guess kind of getting toward that back half of this one. And Michael Sheffield going to take the lead from GT Irizarry out of 4. So score Michael Sheffield, the race leader, after 163 laps. Let's see if he can't pull away from the Ford truck of Irizarry. Now, I think the two of them are equal tires as far as how many they have left. So I guess the thing is now...
I think they each have one set left.
I think so, too. So if you think of it that way, and we started about 10 laps ago, so it'll take about 130 laps. Do you go hard for 70 laps and dive in? Do you stretch it out for 90? I mean, we seen how much...
I'm cutting it in half.
I'm cutting it in half, too. Absolutely. I'm going to go as hard as I can for 70 laps, 70 to 75. And I'm just going to let it eat. And I'm going to get all the time I can. And hope I get there. And then I'm going to dive in and hope I made the right call. But I guess that's why these guys are pros. And I'm not. Let's see what they do. GT had a thought for the lead there last time off of 2. Didn't have the run. So Sheffield now going to read Carlin. Hey, my wife is gone. I just say hi to the wife. Haven't seen her in a whole day. So hopefully when we're done, she won't be asleep, so we can at least say hello. But she looks at me and says, "Not a chance. She's going to bed." All right, where are we at? We're in Martinsville. Been here the whole night. Still got 120 laps to go. I think we can do it. Can Michael Sheffield hold off GT Irizarry?
Depends if you're going halfway, you know, and you're talking about running it hard, go on around him.
That's it. And GT is all over the back deck lit up. Tailgate. I guess you say tailgate. And either way, I mean, whatever one of these two guys to hang out with is a party. You got Busch Light and Fireball. And he is down low. GT Irizarry going to make a bid for the lead. Mike going to let him go. Let him go, Mike. Don't burn up the stuff. GT Irizarry going to lead that time by... Thought Mike was going to cross him over. Don't do it, Mike. You beat him last week by being conservative. And let him burn his stuff up. Do it again. I'm rooting for the one.
I'm thinking.
Love GT.
I think you're going to see a new race winner tonight.
A new race winner. Are you calling 23 truck?
Yes, I am.
I like that. That's bold. I like that a lot. I was thinking Oprick's got a good shot. He's falling back to 6th, though. But I almost wonder if he's saving for a late... I mean, you've seen him run amongst the top 3.
But did
he was a lap down.
Did he come in on that last yellow and get his last set of tires?
That's good point. That's why you're the best in this business, Jack, directing and analyzing that. That's a good point. He may have... Did he take his tires? Did he not? If he did, that's a tough bed to slide in. 130 laps. It could be done. Not going to be very quick. We saw that earlier. But 4 versus 1.
But the 23 is just like hanging out there. He's just riding. He's not burning his stuff up. He's just riding. He's not losing them. He's not letting them get ahead of him. He's just hanging in.
Just hanging in. Just making laps. Just riding. Don't pay any attention to me. I'm just here making laps. I'm going to let you two race it out, and I'm going to pass you both at the end. I like that. Biesinger may walk away here victorious in Martinsville. That could be a call. I'm rooting for the one, but I think Jack may be onto something. And everybody knows how I feel about GT. Love GT. Great dude. Awesome driver. I mean, wouldn't be shocked if you won again. I don't think anybody would be. But I guess the feel-good story would be with 23. And everybody likes a new winner. Can Chad Biesinger do it here tonight in Martinsville? We're 175 laps complete. I'll let these guys ride around. We'll keep the picture on. We won't take a break. Put a rest of vocal cord. Just take a second to breathe. 100 laps remaining here in Martinsville. All right, we'll break back in here live for the play-by-play on the Full Velocity Racing Network here in Martinsville. The Adrenaline Rush Racing League Truck Series been here every Monday night. We got about 4 or 5 races left, so we still got a lot more to come, including on the schedule next week at Kentucky, although it's a holiday Monday. So we'll talk to Mike and see what they're going to do. If we're going to race or we're going to not. But it is Labor Day next week. Not a bad time to take some time away, but... Oh, that's right. No labor on Labor Day. So, I guess that's where we're sitting. We'll talk to Mike later. See if we return with this in 2 weeks. Kind of recharge. Recharging is good. We've had a good little recharge here in the late part of this one. The top 5 have all come right back together. You got GT era Michael Sheffield and GT era Zeri. They've run 1-2 with the GT's back to the front, so they've kind of changed spots since last I looked. GT over Mike. Then you've got Biesinger back there in the 3rd spot with 23. And then you look right behind them where the other 2 trucks have come back into the fight. Robert Nestor having a really good run running in 4th. And also Richard Gonzalez. Rich having one of his most competitive runs of the season. Runs in the top 5, runs 5th. And right there in tow with the race leaders. Is Oprich starting to come back too? Look at that. They're all under 2 seconds. So 6 trucks in the lead lap are all right together within an earshot of a potential chance to win here in Martinsville with 100 laps remaining. 100. 188 complete. So I guess 99 left to go. So I guess we could say officially into the last third of this one. Can these guys hold on? Gonzalez just drove it down at the 1 and 2, about as hard as you can drive it. And I don't think it stuck too well. Matt Oprich went to the inside now, put the 16 in the top 5. I'm telling you, Jack, I think Oprich may have a chance. I mean, if he's on his last set and he's hanging tough like this, you got to think he's got a shot. I think the 4 and the 1 have clearly positioned themselves the 2 best trucks here tonight. I don't think there's any dispute of that. I think the 23 is very good. I mean, maybe just as equal as these top 2. I guess you never know. I think we both said I don't think anybody would be shocked if Biesinger won. But how about this 11 truck? Robert Nestor, who's had a very up and down season, he's put some solid runs together. He's had some wrecks. He's had some PC connection issues. I think he had one earlier tonight even. But the 11 truck, when he's put a whole run together, has been very solid too. And tonight at Martinsville showing very good. Running back there in P4. So maybe Nestor with a shot to win. We know Matt Oprick's always consistently solid. He was a top 3 truck last week. We've seen him win a race earlier this year, so
If they
no
all,
shock, he's good.
if they all get bunched up, in a line, it's anybody's race to win.
I have the boldest prediction I'll make all night. Who is not going to win? Craig Burns in the 2. He retired 78 laps ago, so he finishes 8th. I don't think he's going to win. David Edwards is a lap down. I don't want to count David out because you never know. You get a yellow, a lucky dog, and whatever. And David's a good driver. But running 7th a lap down, I mean, way off the radar. Stupider things have happened. Not impossible. I guess I'll wait and see. But as it currently sits, the drama in the front, it's very nil. And approaching 200 laps old here in Martinsville. Irizarry leads over Michael Sheffield, and it's a game of cat and mouse. It comes together within 2 truck lengths. It goes out to about 10. And then it sits in the middle. And it's in the middle right now. Like 4 or 5 truck lengths. And GT's pulling away again. They go down to the 3. He rides high. Mike gains ground. I mean, this is what Martinsville looks like. I mean, this is terrible.
And the whole time, the 23 is still hanging out.
The 23 is still hanging. He hasn't overdriven his stuff, hasn't hustled it, hasn't made a mistake, hasn't made a lot of noise. Biesinger's about to make noise. I'm telling you. He goes right to the bumper, the 1. Not close enough to tap it, but I think enough to know he's there. I think Biesinger's going to be good here late. But GT is going to be tough to pass. The question is, what do they do on tires? Are they splitting up a run? They're going to come in about 20 laps. Is anybody going for a whole 130? I think it can be done, but I think it's going to be really, really tough to do.
You'll get eaten alive if somebody pits and you're on the same old tires.
Is anybody out of tires? We've sent Oprick baby in trouble with tires. David Edwards has spun out twice. You wonder if he's on his last set. You know, Richard Gonzalez has been on the outside. Well, I don't think he's on. I think he's only pitted once. Pitted twice, so. All right, well, I guess officially we don't have a clue who's on what.
Pretty much.
Which is pretty normal for us. I mean, a long race like this, do we even remember what happened at the start? I mean, that's a long time ago now. 200 laps ago.
Yeah, I remember they took the green flag.
That's it. Who started on the pole? Don't cheat.
Oprick.
You cheated.
No, I didn't.
Remember that. I'm proud of you. See? An hour and 20 minutes in, and we still got our faculties. We're doing okay.
I haven't gone to sleep yet.
Yeah, it's coming soon. Cue the Sandman. He's calling Jack. He said,
When I wake up tomorrow and you gave me a quiz about this race, I would flunk.
Me too. 100%. There's no doubt about it. I'll even forget what I had for dinner, which is pretty simple too. But are we in a race for the lead? I mean, we're looking like we want to. Mike keeps kind of playing peekaboo with GT.
I remember what I had for breakfast. I think it was a sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddle.
That's foul. That's a flag on the play. You didn't just go there. Of all places you could go, you just went there. A McGriddle Jack for breakfast, really? Is it like $9 a sandwich out there?
Oh no.
Because it's ridiculous.
It's like $3.50.
$3.50. All right. Now I'm gonna get really angry, and I'm gonna sulk. So while I sulk, we're gonna watch a few laps here of racing action here at Martinsville. Maybe even throw a commercial break in there. What do we got to throw for them? Let's give a shout to our friends over at Forward Bite. I think you got that spot. Give them a plug. Forward Bite Nation. Check it out. We'll check in live back here in a few minutes on the Full Velocity Racing Network.
Forward Bite. Every racer wants it. And it just may be the difference between winning and losing. You know that feeling when you come out of the turn like a rocket and leave them in the dust? That's Forward Bite. And now it's more than just an advantage on the track. It's a lifestyle, and quickly becoming a movement, sweeping racers of all ages, skill levels, and walks of life across the nation. From go-karts to Formula One and everything in between. Forward Bite is your key to success, and we're here to make sure you not only know how to get it, but look pretty dang cool in the process. Welcome to Forward Bite Nation. Whether you're racing or wrenching, Forward Bite has you covered. The Forward Bite brand was born in the garage and is for racers and fans of racing by racers. If there's anything we know and love, it's the track.
All right, checking in back here. 213 laps complete here at Martinsville, and things may be beginning to change a tad bit. They're in that window we talked about, halfway through a tire run, 70, 75 laps in, 65 laps in. Go hard, come in, strap your last set on, and go at it. I think the number 11 truck got the memo, because Robert Nestor has been down on the pit lane. He's down there now. And he pits himself out of 5th. I believe also Matt Oprick has come into pit. So maybe he did have it on the set left. No, he didn't come into pit. He's a lap down, though. I think he had to, because he was right there with that group. But now he's behind David Edwards. So I got to imagine Oprick's been down, too. I think he's been in. We know Nestor's been in. Gonzalez hasn't come in yet. He's 8 seconds off. Or maybe he's been saving. But it stays Irizarry, Sheffield, Biesinger, top 3. Now, we know how much new tires have helped out here in the short term. The 11 truck is going to have them. I believe Oprick is going to have them. I got to imagine so, because they're running right together now, 16-11. So I got to say, Oprick has been in. He had a set of tires off. He came in, put them on. So let's see what the lap times do for Nat versus the leader. We'll do it next time by. Last time by was good, 21.68. Let's see next time what he compares to the race leader, GT Irizarry, and get a kind of glimpse of what these lap times will look like. Oprick at the line out of 4. On new tires, 21.618. GT Irizarry last time by as he exits 3 and 4. I'm going to guess by 22.5. 23.71. So it's not a, it's 3/4 of a second, which is big. Maybe big enough? Don't know. But it's still a substantial
he's still got, I mean, he's either got a pit or he's going to try to roll it for the rest of the race.
Now let's look at Nestor, who we know had a full set. Maybe Oprick didn't have a full set. Nestor last time by ran a 28.5. So that was really quick. GT last time by 22.50. So that's almost 2 seconds now. So new tires are good. Michael Sheffield is in. The one truck making his final stop of the night. He is down on pit road getting those 4 tires. So it is time to come in, make the money stop, strap him on, and just let it roll. It's an extended pit stop for the one who's getting the left side work on. He hits the jack down. Michael Sheffield is going to return. So he has been in. Robert Nestor's been in. David Edwards is in. Matt Oprick is certainly have to have been in. That leaves now Irizarry, Biesinger, and Gonzalez as the 3 left in the lead lap. Now, I think Gonzalez, I think he may make a run for it. He did it earlier. And I don't think it's a bad idea. Can GT make it? I don't think so. Can Biesinger do it? Chad's backed off his pace. He trails GT by 4 seconds. So, could be some stuff happening here late. 4.4 last time at the line. Somebody just said their pit, and I think it was a 23. It is a 23. He is down on the brakes. He is going to come to pit road in 3 and 4. So Chad Biesinger is going to pit his way in. Gonzalez will flash on by. So GT Irizarry is the leader. And GT's got to be recognizing by now, hey, these guys are all coming in. I'm losing some time. His truck is still really good. I mean, 22 threes are not bad. And just as I say that, the 4 truck pulls in. So GT wasn't going to sacrifice any more time out there by his lonesome. The race leader is in on lap 224. So GT Irizarry going to make his last stop of the night. And I'm curious to see where this kind of plays out to when it cycles on back. And I'm going to make the guess that it may go all the way to the 11. Robert Nestor may be the leader when this cycles on back through. And it's just my calculated measurement of a guess. As GT's still on the jack stands. Did I see Gonzalez? No, Richard Gonzalez is the leader. He hasn't come in yet. So 6 trucks staying out. And he exits too. So I think 6 trucks got the lead. Now where is the 6, or where's the 4 versus 11 kind of cycle on through? As GT exits 4. GT's back to 4. So Robert Nestor, I was right. The 11 truck has jumped up to 2nd. And we know he's come in and he's got fresh stuff. He pitted early. Is that enough to put Robert Nestor in victory lane? Kid Richard Gonzalez to the unthinkable and stretch this run out all the way. And he's got, 50 laps left to get it done. It's a long way. He's a second off the pace. That's right. And he's got 10 even to Nestor. So that's about, 10 or 12 laps if it stays consistent. So I don't know if Gonzalez got the money call. But Robert Nestor may have just made the move of the night. He now runs P2 and is gaining on the race leader and has 4 seconds between himself and Matt Oprick. Is Robert Nestor going to pull this off tonight in Martinsville? I guess we'll all find out together. Let's do a break. Approaching 230 laps in here live on the Full Velocity Racing Network. All right, a lot happening there to that break. We've seen a couple of comers and a couple of goers, and some developments happen. They've cycled through the pit stops. Not completely. But Richard Gonzalez still leads. But it's now under a second over now. GT Irizarry, who just a lap ago, like a rocket ship, around Robert Nestor. Now to the inside of Richard Gonzalez, he blows on by GT Irizarry, going back to the top of the board. And then number 4 dropped Gonzalez back to second. And I think one of the best calls of the night was that 11 truck. I think he may have taken out 2 or 4. He had a good lead, but once GT started running him down, it was only a matter of time. So now Nestor going to try to run his way to the 6 truck to put him into second. I think the 6 is surrendering the ghost and coming into the pits. I think I just heard Mayday, I'm coming in, flat tire. So Gonzalez is going to pull off the track, so he'll pull out a second. So that's going to put Nestor up back to P2. The question is for how long? Because the one of Sheffield is starting to come on too. He's now up to 3rd, 4th, the 6th, 10th yet. We did. But he did say he's coming there soon. I'm surprised he didn't. I don't know if he can make the truck turn. But there's the pass for 3rd. Sheffield under Gonzalez. So now Mike up to the 3rd spot. And he trails the leader Irizarry by 4 seconds. Not impossible. And with, what do we got here? We go 240 complete. So we've got about 45 to go. And it's not impossible, or not even improbable. And he picks up a half a second on the GT that lap by. This race ain't over, folks. Not even close. I think Nestor's giving up the ghost in the 11. We know Gonzalez ain't going to do it. Chad Biesinger had a terrible pit stop. He runs back there in 6th. I'm not sure he's going to be a player here late now after we predicted so. So I don't know if Chad can run these guys back down. But Sheffield is coming. I think he's a lap away from taking 2nd from the 11 of Nestor as they're down in 3 and 4. Where do they run? Trying to get to the view. So now Mike's around the 11. So Sheffield up to 2nd, Nestor back to 3rd. And you said, and you're right, the fastest truck last time by is the number 23, who runs back there in 6th, 9.5 seconds off the lead. I don't know if he's got enough time. Good piece.
Not enough time and running. He's not going to run that consistently.
No. Well, we'll see. I mean, it's 9.5. I mean, it's under 3 seconds now between GT and Mike. And I went on record during the break. I think GT was going to win. And now I don't feel so comfortable about that. Because Mike's quick, too. What is the top 2 interval sitting at the line? As they flash by, that's going to 3. So it's stabilized a little bit. GT opens it back up by a few tenths. So maybe I'm right. Maybe I'm wrong. I've been wrong a billion times before. Nestor holding on for 3rd, and he's got a few lengths between himself and the 16 of Matt Obrick. I believe those two on the same. I think they may have both taken 2 tires. Because they never really got the big jumps of speed I thought they made him. It was very brief. So 11 3rd, 16 4th. Biesinger, who I believe is the new fastest truck, and I think you're still right. Runs back there at 5th, but I don't think he's going to run the leaders down 9.5 seconds. We'll see where it goes to here at the line as he flashes on by. Got it down. He chopped 3 tenths off, but it's down to 9. Not enough time.
He just needs to get past the 11 to be on the podium.
That's it. And if Chad's not on the podium, we're going to feel terrible because he's been really good all night. He's been clearly a 3rd place truck all night, if not better than the 4 and the 1. I think it's clear the 4 and the 1 have been the 2 best ones here tonight. But Chad's been that number 3. So I think he's within an earshot of doing so. I think he's quicker than the 16. He's quicker than the 11. He's quicker than the leaders. I don't think he can run it all the way down, though. Not terribly impossible. He's once upon a time run over 10.5 down to under 9. And it was 8 and 8/10s, now 8.7. So he chopped off a 10. So that'll be tough. I think we may see a change here for 4th in a second. Ulbrich is right in front of him now, 2 truck lengths down to 3 and 4. Matt's truck's still running well on the bottom. See if Chad carries it off here and see if he makes a move down to 1 and 2. No, looks like Matt's truck's still turning good. So Chad's quicker. Catching guys one thing, passing's another. With a ton of respect these guys have for each other. I don't think Matt's going to race them all too terribly hard. No, he goes to the high side. Chad fills the gap. So Biesinger now up to 4th. And I believe he's going to be still quicker than Nestor. Got about a second and a half to run him down. I think Chad can do it. I don't think he's running down the 1. I guess the burning question here late is we now put 252 laps complete. Can Michael Sheffield run down GT Irizarry? He gains a tenth or 2 every lap. This one may not be indeed over. So as 253 laps go complete, we're about 23, 24 laps to go. We're going to take our final pause of the night. This guy's going to go take a trip to the boys' room. We're going to run real quick. We'll be right back. We'll call the finish live at the Martinsville Speedway. All right, last triple of the night. I was hoping to make the finish. There was only so much chair dancing I could do with a full bladder, so I had to run. So apologize for that. We've been taking little intermittent breaks all night long, and it's been a good night. Phil and Jack have been bantering back and forth, seeing a decent race happening. I hear frustration boiling over for Richard Gonzalez as he has tried to throw out a different strategy than everybody else, and it's kind of done a little differently for him. Looks like the 6 truck may be beginning to boil over. But let's not spoil what's happening up here in front. Let's spoil it. GT Irizarry leads Michael Sheffield. 2 laps ago, it was down under 2 seconds. Now it's back up at 2.8. So I think to say that the interval that Mike had run him down is kind of stabilized. And is GT going off to another checkered flag this season? I think it's a good bet. Now we've had a change for 3rd. As Chad Biesinger, who has been that number 3 truck all night long, is now back to 3rd. So all is right in the universe. As long as nothing peculiar happens, Chad may have a top 3 finish coming. And he deserves it. He's been good all night. Robert and Esther back here in fourth, and it's Matt Oprick, the final truck in the lead lap. Matt running in fifth. Now, I feel like if you run all 287 laps here tonight, you deserve some kind of award. That's a long night at Martinsville. I mean, the actual real truck series only does 200. And you think about that, that's a long, grueling race to begin with. The Cup cars do 500, which is insane. I mean, you've seen guys collapse in victory lane after a race, or guys just fall down from exhaustion on pit road and the race is over. Yeah, I get it. We're in the comfort of our homes and all in our customized rig and comfortable and settled in. But that's a lot of focus to do this for, God, close to 600 turns. I mean, that's a lot on the brakes, on the gas. Unless you do this daily and work out really good, maybe some cramps in the legs. I mean, a lot of focus. So hats off to these guys, all of them. This has been a gauntlet. They're 20 laps away from running it, so we're very, very proud of them. But it looks like GT Irizarry may be beginning to extend that lead out some. Is now 3.69 seconds over Michael Sheffield, and was flashed by the line and put 267 laps complete. So now we're under 20 laps remaining. And the interval is 3.339. Does Sheffield have one more late race gasp? Can he run down GT Irizarry? Is GT going to open up that points lead some more? I don't have the points in front of me, but I have to imagine the way he's run all season long, he's got to be the points leader, and it's probably got to be substantial. I think Sheffield may be number 2 or 3. B-Singer's been good. Kevin Jodricic's not here tonight. He's been fast all year, too. Their buddy Kurt's not here. He's been fast. So we're missing a couple. I mean, we seen Adam Lighty out there in the chat earlier. He threw 100 stars our way, which we appreciate. You know, but he's not here. I think Jack and I are the only 2 left, besides the guys on the track. So we've officially scared them all the way. I think even Marianne fell asleep. You know, Tybee TV's probably streaming. He's probably got our audience. So it's just us, and I mean, even Hot Rod didn't come out and say hi tonight. That's kind of weird. Missing him. Ron was going to come say hi. Ron didn't get out of the race car. Todd never stopped in. Todd doesn't like us. I mean, I guess you'll hear from Todd tomorrow, as he'll be live in Lernerville with the FERN Modified Touring Series. So expect Todd there tomorrow night. Jack and myself will be at the Charlotte Motor Speedway dirt track, the World Finals tomorrow night for the Underworld Street Stock Series. So we'll be there tomorrow night. I believe that comes live about 9 p.m. Look out for the links tomorrow. We'll definitely be there live. So, and kind of a tame week. We're off on Wednesday. Street Fights concluded Season 10, and we can announce that Season 11 will be returning very soon. Waiting for a schedule from the DWRL guys, which I imagine going to come out in the next couple of days. So when it does, we'll update our calendar, which you can find at fullvelocitytv.com. You can see all we're up to, but we're off on Wednesday, then we come back with the Elite Dirt Racing League on Thursday for championship night. I believe the night we crown Kyle Windsor a champion officially. I have to find those points too, but the final race of that series comes live Thursday. So a lot of things have wrapped up or are wrapping up. We've got this series for a couple more races. The Modified Touring Series on Tuesday night through the end of October. That's 10 p.m. every Tuesday night. We'll be there. And also a new series coming out on Sundays. Our buddy Josh Ely, the King of the Dirt. And that starts on Sunday. I believe the date is the 13th. Let's say 12th, 13th. So we'll be there for that for 6 weeks. Big money series. Going to be fun. So that's what's coming up on the docket. Like we said, fullvelocitytv.com is where you find it. And thank you guys, all guys and gals, for all the support you give us. Is down to the later stages here at the Martinsville Speedway. GT Irizarry leads. It's coming down 2.72 or 762. So it's reduced by half a second. But on the start-finish line, we put 276 laps complete. And it stays at, goes 2.2. Mike's gaining. If he can run down 3/10 over the course of 10 laps, he'll be there. Do we have a race for the win brewing here in the final 10 laps in Martinsville? GT Irizarry versus Michael Sheffield as we lap on around. It was 2.286. At the line, it goes down at 2.13. So about a tenth. And with 9 laps remaining, can GT hold on? Look at Biesinger. What was once 9 seconds was over 10. Is now down under 5, 4.5. If this race was 300 laps, Biesinger may win. But it's 287, a weird distance. 8 laps remain. It's a weird distance, 150 miles. Which, I don't know any short tracks and sanctioning body that go to a short track and say, hey, let's do it in miles. But Mr. Sheffield is a good dude. That was his train of thought. We respect that. It's a peculiar number, but we get it. And he explained that to us earlier in the season. We said, hey, why are the short track races so long? He equivalent to miles. So we understand. It's a long one here tonight. We're going to go 2 hours. These guys are going to be exhausted. We're going to be exhausted. It's going to be well earned. But down into the under 10 laps remaining, 280 go complete. GT Irizarry leads Michael Sheffield at the line. It's 2.4 seconds, so it's kind of stabilizing. Lap by lap, it ebb and flows about a tenth. Biesinger's chop it down to 4.1. I don't think he's got enough time, but he's going to at least make it respectable. Then you go back 15, 16 seconds to Robert Nestor in the 11, and he's got 2 seconds on Matt Open. That is your top 5. 1 lap down with a really good night, competitive night, Richard Gonzalez. Tried something different, made it work for him. Led some laps. Got a lot of TV time. Richard's had a good night. He's 1 lap down, running in 6th. David Edwards, an off night here in Martinsville, the Jack Daniels 15. He's 7th. 3 laps down. And the only other entry we had here tonight retired 166 laps ago. The 2 of Craig Burns. Qualified 4th. Was running as high as 3rd early. I thought Craig would have a good night. Guess not. He retired a long time ago. We had 8 trucks here tonight. 8 started. GT Irizarry's led, I think, the lion's share of the laps. Well, Jack can confirm that. 219, so definitely the lion's share. More than half. GT Irizarry's led. And now down to the closing moments here. Last time around, 1.76 seconds the interval between the number 4 truck and the number 1 off of turn number 4. Let's put 284 laps complete. 3 laps remain here in Martinsville. About 1 mile, 1.5 miles. 1.9 seconds the interval. Back to Sheffield. Biesinger down to about 3. This race for second may close up. I didn't think it was going to happen, but it could. Through turns number 3 and 4, the 2 sticks go down. 2 more trips left around here tonight for the GT Irizarry. Busch Light number 4, that Ford F-150 down off the east end of the speedway, off of turn number 2, and he is down the back chute with 1.7 seconds to spare between himself and Sheffield. Sheffield's going to second back to Biesinger, who may be there in closing in the final lap as the white silk goes into the air. 1 more trip around the Martinsville Speedway. Is GT Irizarry going to pick up? What is this going to be? Checkered flag number 4 or 5? It has been many. Undoubtedly the points leader. Driving away here tonight in Martinsville, leading well over 200 laps. Into turns number 3 and 4, the checkered flag goes in the air. GT Irizarry going to win tonight here in Martinsville. He will beat Michael Sheffield to the line by 1.5 seconds. Chad Biesinger is going to finish up 3rd. They exit 3 and 4. Robert Nestor is going to get a 4th place run. Matt Oprick's going to officially finish 5th over Richard Gonzalez, David Edwards, and Craig Burns. Once again, GT Irizarry is your winner. But we're going to go to Discord and talk to the gang next here live on the Full Velocity Racing Network. All right, we're back here live. The Full Velocity Racing Network post-race show is presented by BladeNode.com. It is simple web solutions powered by nerds with web hosting and VPS servers and dedicated servers. They will do it all. Check them out today at BladeNode.com, where a great race for Martinsville has just concluded. 287 laps. The winner is GT Arizari over Michael Sheffield, and a very solid, consistent third-place run for the number 23 of Chad Biesinger. Chad, you really made this thing interesting late. I said if it was 300 laps, you may be the one in victory lane, but it was 13 laps shorter. You had a gallant effort, a third place finish. First of all, how you feeling after that? Gotta imagine you guys are tired.
Yeah, I'm kind of sore. I don't know if my pit entry or exit was slow, but I come out way farther behind than I thought I would, and so I just worked hard trying to catch back up.
Now, in a place like Martinsville, it's hard on the brakes, turn, not over rotate it, not push it, hit the wall. You had to keep your stuff clean all night long. Getting on and off pit road under green, never easy. I don't care where you race. How hard is it to keep laser focused the way you guys do? To do this 287 laps. You know, slow pit stop aside, that's going to take great discipline to get to the end of a race like this, and you did it.
Yeah, well, thank you. I don't them two guys in front of me. I look at it as a school because I learn a lot every time I'm following them.
Well, for a little while, Chad, I mean, me and Jack both said it. You rode third all night long really quietly. We thought late in the going, if these two guys race, you may get down the win. You ran them down 8 seconds over the last run there for the 60 laps. So that was impressive alone. You had a flawless trike here tonight, Chad. We're certainly proud of you. A third place run. Who do you get to thank tonight for a great run like this? This is awesome to watch.
I'd like to thank Michael for putting the league together, and then thank you guys. I mean, you guys do an awesome job on the broadcast.
We appreciate that. We try hard with it. And this guy is one of the stars of the series now. Flies a little bit under the radar, but becoming a very frequent voice in the post-race show. We're very happy to do so. Mr. Chad Biesinger with a third place run here tonight. We will let him go. And let's take a walk down here to a guy who, for a little while, I thought had a shot to win this thing, had a really good truck all night long. And that's, of course, the guy from Sheffield Graphics in the number 1, Mr. Michael Sheffield. Mike, a second place finish. First of all, Chad say he's worn out. How are you feeling after 287 laps? I think we're all a little tired.
Yeah, it's a little tired. Once you get done, you're like, you're happy. But yeah, I mean, it's a long race for sure.
It was a race. It was a grind. Is it more of a physical grind here at Martinsville? Is it more mental? Because you got to be laser sharp here each turn, every time getting on the brakes, keeping a rhythm, and not hitting the wall. What's tougher here at Martinsville, the mental grind or the physical grind? I can imagine they're both pretty difficult.
They're both pretty difficult. I mean, it's a lot of wheel in the corner. The mental grind is just, it's a rhythm that if you get into and you get out of it, it's hard to seem like you can get back in it. There towards the end, I was struggling with loose off. I was trying to overdrive the car a little bit, looking at the numbers, and I realized I've just got to maintain and focus on where I'm at, get the car off the corner without spinning the rear tires. So.
You did great. And for a little while there, about 40 or 50 laps to go, you were pushing GT. And I thought to myself, we played this game last week where we made GT drive it too hard in the late stages. Mike saved. Mike wins a gas mileage race. Is he setting up tonight to beat him late? But looks like GT saved just enough to beat you. But Mike had a terrific run, a second place finish there, buddy. Who do you get to thank for a good run here tonight?
I mean, first of all, I want to thank my teammates over at SJR. GT's actually come on board to run with us. So he's one of the teammates now, even though he says he doesn't have any friends, he does. So Curtis, Matt, and David. And then I want to thank you guys for, doing this every week. It really means a lot. Y'all are a great group of guys.
We appreciate that. And you guys are as well. And it's been a delight to watch. And we appreciate you. We're going to see you guys. It's Labor Day next week. You guys on a schedule. We're going to race next week. I don't know if I have a director next week. We may have to talk here in the middle of the week.
Yeah, just we'll talk about it. I mean, nobody's really said anything on our side. Well, they definitely don't want to, but we can move stuff around if we need to. Just we'll talk later in the week.
Got that right. So we may or may not be here next week. I'm not sure what Jack's schedule is or even our family dynamic here. But either way, Mike, thanks very much there, buddy. Good run. Another win's coming there soon there, buddy. You got one of the best now. GT's on your team. Maybe steal some secrets there, bud. Congratulations.
Thanks, bud.
All right, Michael Sheffield, a great run here tonight. He will finish second here at Martinsville. So we have talked to first. We have talked to third. We have talked to second. Phil's spoken way too many words. I'm about out of words. Let's go to BladeNode.com, Victory Lane, and talk to GT Irizarry. I believe checkered flag number 5 there, buddy. These don't get old, do they?
Not at a track like this, it sure as hell doesn't, man. That's a workout for sure, bro. 287 laps. Jeez.
How you feeling after that? I'm tired. I know Jack's tired. You guys got to be exhausted. That's Martinsville's on an easy track to drive on for 20 laps. 287. How do you prepare for a drive like this tonight? Do you even prepare?
Make sure you go to the bathroom first is really what I can tell you. But my damn, I'm one of these people that I drive just with my left hand. My right hand stays on my gear shifter the whole time. So my left hand just kept getting numb, so I'd have to, kind of release the pressure from squeezing and being white knuckle the whole time. But in all reality though, Phil, what made us able to do this was the set that Sheffield put underneath us. I mean, it was solid. It was, you got to mind your gas pedal coming off the turn. But, once you figure that out, I mean, it really was actually a pretty solid set, man. I mean, hats off to him. That was a hell of a job on that one.
It was. We only saw 2 yellows here tonight. 3. I think we had only 2, which is always, it's tremendous racing here at Martinsville. Tremendous with this series. I mean, you want a series with some green flag racing and a whole lot of respect. I don't know if you could find better than this as far as asphalt goes.
I've said it a million times, man. Just because you have a field of 30-something cars doesn't mean you're going to have a good race. At one point in time, I know I looked back and we were past halfway, and I looked back and all the trucks we were all just lined up. So it wasn't like we were just pulling away from everybody. And I was like, geez. And then, and Phil, I got to tell you too, I was telling Chad, I mean, I was telling Chef throughout the race, I was like, man, if we get a late race yellow, I don't know, man. Chad was coming. I was trying to save as much as I could there at the end, knowing that I had, Sheffield, the buffer between him and I, if he got there. But I think if that thing would stay green another, 20 laps, I think he would have got by Chef, and then he would have been putting the pressure on us. And, I don't know if I could have held him off. So I'm really glad it ended when it did.
I agree. I think Chad had a struggle on his pit stop. Whatever went wrong for him, he was certainly good all night long. And I thought he had something saved for you guys late. And so he ran you guys down 7-8 seconds. So that was a hell of a rifle at 23. A terrific drive by you here tonight, GT. I believe you led over 220 laps for a 287 lap event. I would say that's dominating there, buddy. Take the mic from me one more time and get shout out to all these people that I know Mike put a good setup on you, but you got to drive it too. There's a lot of practice and time that goes into getting these things good. Who got you out here tonight?
Yeah. Well, again, I want to thank Michael Sheffield for putting on the Adrenaline Rush Racing League. And also want to thank you guys, Full Velocity, for coming out. As always, hey, it's always a pleasure to have you out here and get to chat with you guys, man. And again, I mean, just hats off to Michael for the set. I mean, because if it would have been a crappy set, you can imagine how this would have went. So he put the time and effort into is what he did. He just trusts that we'll be able to adapt to what he's put underneath us and make a good show for it. And here we are, we did it. So once again, the Busch Light F-150 was pretty much on rails tonight. I mean, so hell yeah, we'll take it.
Well, the drinks are on this fella here tonight for the 5th time this season, Mr. GT Irizarry, the big winner here in Martinsville. We'll let him down here and celebrate with the team. It's always going to talk to him. And that's going to do it for us here live in Martinsville tonight. For all of us here at the RN, for Jack Truman, I am Phil LeCasse. We'll see you back here live tomorrow night. The World Finals at Charlotte will be there. Todd will be at Lernerville. We'll see you both back over there live on the Full Velocity Racing Network. Good night.